Yo soy boricua.
¡Para que tú lo sepas!
Otra vez. Yo soy boricua.
¡Para que tú lo sepas!
Puerto Rico se respeta.
¡Puerto Rico se respeta!
Puerto Rico se respeta.
¡Puerto Rico se respeta!
Eso.
Muy buenos días a todos. Mi nombre es Samuel Vilchez Santiago y soy presidente del Partido Demócrata aquí en el Condado Orange. El día de hoy estamos acá por otra falta de respeto en contra de nuestra comunidad. We have seen over the last 10 years exactly how Donald Trump and his campaign sees the Latino and the Puerto Rican community. And because he sees us as garbage, he treats us as garbage. Because he sees us as garbage, he fumbled the recovery after Hurricane Maria and Irma in Puerto Rico, while people were dying. Because he sees us as garbage, he separated immigrant children from their mothers and had them sleeping on the floor above aluminum foil. Because he sees us as garbage, he continues to treat our Puerto Rican and Latino community as second-class citizens. Because he sees us as garbage, he had the least diverse administration in the last few years. And so today we come here and say, we will not vote for people who sees us as garbage. And that includes Donald Trump and all of his buddies who understand really well what he's doing. And yet they stand by him, they applaud him, and they want him elected. That includes Rick Scott. That includes every single one of the Republican candidates you will see on your ballot this upcoming November 5th. And so today we stand here because we believe in the politics of unity, in the politics of uplifting the Latino community. And we stand strong with the people who care about us, with the people who understand our struggles and understand the opportunity we have as a community. And that is Kamala Harris, that is Debbie Mucarsel-Powell, that is our very own Congressman Darren Soto and our Congressman Maxwell Alejandro Frost. That's Representative Johanna Lopez. That's our candidates for the State House, Maria Revelles, Tom King, Leonard Spencer, Nate Douglas, Marsha Summersill. That's our candidate for the State Senate and current Representative Kristen Arrington. That's our property appraiser, Amy Mercado. Our Senator Victor Torres. Our duly elected state attorney Monique Worrell, who we're going to be elected. We stand here, our Senator-elect Carlos Guillermo Smith. We stand here, all of our Democratic elected officials and candidates with one clear message. Puerto Rico se respeta.
Puerto Rico se respeta. Se respeta.
Y a nuestra comunidad hay que hacerle saber exactamente lo que hemos visto en estos últimos 10 años. No nos sorprende que Donald Trump nos llame basura. No nos sorprende porque así nos ve, que así nos has visto por los últimos 10 años. Y porque nos ve como basura, nos trata como basura. Pero nosotros tenemos el poder de castigarlos con nuestros votos. Este 5 de noviembre, los puertorriqueños y todos los latinos tenemos una gran oportunidad de enviar un mensaje claro. Nosotros tenemos dignidad. Y a nuestra cultura, a nuestra herencia, a nuestra comunidad y a nuestras familias se les respetan. Y es por eso que vamos a votar por los demócratas en todas las posiciones. Y es por eso que vamos a lograr hacer historia cuando elijamos un nuevo camino para este país. Y la presidenta Kamala Harris. Hay otro micrófono de atrás. Cuando elijamos un nuevo camino para este país, elijamos a Kamala Harris como nuestra presidenta. Muchas gracias y ahora llamo al congresista Darren Soto.
Hola, Democratas. Hello,
Democrats.
We saw just this past week an unprovoked MAGA attack on the Puerto Rican community. And now we will see both our passionate voices and over the next 7 days, our passionate votes for Kamala Harris and Democrats up and down the ticket.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Democrats?
Yes.
We know when you set an event, a rally for hate, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Attacks on the African American community, attacks on the Puerto Rican community, attacks on the LGBTQ community, attacks on the Haitian community. Where's my Haitian brothers and sisters at?
Yeah.
We also know that it was clear discrimination. The island of Puerto Rico is a beautiful place. Millions of tourists go there every year. And so this is all about these racist, fascist comments of others, of vermin, of telling people that they're less human. We've seen this playbook before, and we saw it at Madison Square Garden in 1938. We can't repeat history again. We're not going to let that happen, huh? No. And so we're about to see the full might of 1.2 million Florida Ricans getting out the vote. Wepa!
Wepa!
And we're also going to see in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, in Georgia, key states, people are angry, people are passionate, and they're going to vote. What do we have to do? Vote! What do we have to do?
Vote!
What do we have to do?
Vote!
Brevemente en español, nosotros vemos un ataque en la comunidad puertorriqueña. No hay un sentido, no hay una razón para hacerlo. Y esta es discriminación, claramente. Y nosotros vamos a responder con nuestras palabras de pasión, de respeto. Nosotros también vamos a responder con nuestros votos. Hay 1.2 millones puertorriqueños en Florida. Y nosotros estamos listos para votar. ¿Es that correct?
Yes.
También nosotros tenemos mitad millón puertorriqueños en Pennsylvania y más de 50,000 puertorriqueños en North Carolina y en Georgia. En estos 7 días nosotros vamos a decir a Donald Trump y todo quien está apoyando a él, este es el tiempo de respeto. Nosotros vamos a votar por nuestra isla y por Kamala Harris, por presidente. Yo quiero terminar para decir, hay planes para ayudar con casas asequibles aquí en Florida Central. Hay planes para recuperación de la isla económicamente. Hay planes para ayudar con nuestra salud y negocios pequeños y muchos más para proteger Obamacare. Nosotros tenemos planes para el futuro por Kamala Harris. Nosotros vemos odio y discriminación de presidente Trump. Y Puerto Rico recuerda, nosotros recuerdan y Puerto Rico se respeta. Gracias a todos. Next we'll hear from Senator-elect Carlos Guillermo Smith.
I'm just going to put this mic down. I'm not sure I need it. There we go. Puerto Rico se respeta. But the Trump administration and his campaign has not treated the Hispanic and Latino community with respect. The way that we show that we will not be disrespected is by using our voice, and our voice is our vote. Yes, we are insulted and appalled by the remarks that were made, not only insulting the beautiful island of Puerto Rico, but also the inappropriate and appalling remarks about Latinos, the misogynistic remarks that were made, the anti-Semitic remarks that were made, the anti-LGBTQ remarks that were made. Who is left standing in the United States who has not been insulted by Donald Trump and the MAGA movement? Folks, we know that we have a very clear choice in this election. We have a choice between optimism, a progressive future where everyone has the opportunity not only to get by, but to get ahead, with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
That's right.
Where our freedoms are protected and respected.
Yes.
Or a hard right future under Project 2025. A MAGA future under Donald Trump, where Republicans take our rights and freedoms and corporations make decisions for our families in order to control us. As Vice President Harris already said, we are not going back. Puerto Rico se respeta. And today, we're all Puerto Ricans. Hoy todos somos puertorriqueños. Y también todos nosotros nos vamos a votar. Y nos vamos a ganar esta elección. ¿Sí o no?
Sí.
Puerto Rico se respeta. And next, I'm proud to announce the next state representative from House District 47, Maria Revelles.
Muchas gracias por estar todos aquí en esta mañana. Y me hago eco de las palabras que hemos repetido tantas veces. Puerto Rico se respeta. Desafortunadamente, aunque el ataque nos toca a nosotros directamente, nos duele y es ofensivo, primero que nada, no es un chiste, no es una broma y tampoco es un error ni una casualidad. Es parte de la retórica de odio que ha ido levantando y construyendo no solamente la campaña de Donald Trump, sino también lo que fue la administración de Donald Trump. Y peor aún, lo que se proyecta que sería una segunda administración de Donald Trump. En el día de hoy fueron los puertorriqueños, pero la semana pasada fueron los haitianos. Y también en ese mismo evento se habló mal de los inmigrantes. Se ha hablado de las mujeres, donde abiertamente se celebra agarrarlas por sus partes. ¿Cuánto más vamos a aguantar?
¿Cuánto más?
El desdén hacia Puerto Rico del candidato a presidente de nuevo, Donald Trump, lo demostró ya una vez cuando pasó el huracán María. Un genocidio contra los puertorriqueños, donde los números pequeños ponen en 2.000 las muertes, pero los grandes las ponen en 6.000. Una isla donde muchas casas estuvieron 18 meses sin acceso a la electricidad, sin agua potable. Y cuando llegó físicamente a la isla, fue a tirar rollos de papel toalla. Puerto Rico se respeta. Recordemos que los puertorriqueños ganan elecciones. Que somos 6 millones de puertorriqueños en Estados Unidos. Aquí en Florida, 1.2 millones. Y en el estado de Pensilvania, medio millón también. Nosotros ganamos elecciones y nosotros nos levantamos y nosotros sabemos salir a votar. Y este es mi llamado a todos los puertorriqueños. Si no has votado, sal a votar en o antes del 5 de noviembre, porque nosotros tenemos que callar a Donald Trump, porque Puerto Rico se respeta. I want to remind you that while the latest attack is personally insulting as a Puerto Rican, it's not a mistake. It's not a blip. It's not something that just happened, and it's not only against Puerto Ricans either.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
This has built up. It has been against our brothers and sisters Haitians. It has been against black communities.
Yes.
It has been against black countries.
That's right.
And women inviting them to grab them by their privates. I don't forget, because we need to respect each other, and Puerto Rico has to be respected. But the respecting was not only last night. it has been building up since Hurricane Maria, a genocide against Puerto Ricans, where the lowest numbers put 2 million people, 2,000 people that died, and the highest numbers are in around the 6,000. An island that was completely abandoned and forgotten. Many areas of the island lay long until 18 months without power. A diaspora that had to leave the island. 100,000 arrived here to Central Florida. Puerto Rico has to be respected. I'm not going to forget that, and I'm inviting you that Puerto Ricans, 6 million Puerto Ricans in the United States, 1.2 million Puerto Ricans in Central Florida, 50 million Puerto Ricans, 500,000 Puerto Ricans in Pennsylvania. We know how to vote. Puerto Ricans win elections, and that's what we're going to do on or before 5 of November. And I'm proud to present another Puerto Rican like myself, Senator Victor Torres.
Senador.
Gracias, María. Bueno, estamos aquí juntos. We're all here. I'm State Senator Victor M. Torres Jr. from Ponce, Puerto Rico. Para que todo sepa. We have been an afterthought in the elections. They take us for granted because they say they're going to vote for us. But this comment has really energized us to come out here and support and get Kamala Harris elected. But guess what? We have, I'm going to give you a little education. We have elected officials across this country. We have Lester Martinez, a former Army general, Puerto Rican, who serves as Assistant Secretary of Defense for Health Affairs. We have Miguel Angel Cordona, the Secretary of Education, a Puerto Rican. Folks, we have elected officials across this state, across this country. We need to energize. Yo le digo a los puertorriqueños que están ahí afuera, despierta puertorriqueños, despierta latinos, despierta latinas. Tenemos que ser el voz de nosotros para que cuente el día de mañana, because Kamala Harris va a hacer todo por nosotros y pelear por nuestro país. ¡Huepa, que viva Puerto Rico!
Mercado.
Su hija.
Who is she, Senator?
Who is she, right?
Wow.
Listen, I am very proud to be Senator Victor Torres' daughter.
Yeah.
Collectively, we've made history. Individually, we also make history because we pay attention and we intend to vote, and we vote proudly. As the first Afro-Latina property appraiser elected in Florida, I am proud to be Boricua.
That's right.
And I stand before you troubled by the recent statements at the Trump's Madison Square Garden rally to call us an island of garbage. Puerto Rico in and itself is vibrant community who has confronted unimaginable challenges and tragedies, as you've heard. Referring to our home with a derogatory term like garbage is not only offensive, it undermines our strength and our spirit. But understand it's intentional. By colonizers past and present.
Yeah.
Because if it were garbage, they wouldn't be trying to displace us every minute of every day that's okay. And take advantage of a beautiful island with lots of resources that are held back to the people that actually own it and live it. We must stand together in solidarity and reject this divisive rhetoric. We must continue to support and uplift one another, regardless of our race, our ethnicity, and our background. Let us embrace the diversity that makes our nation, our community strong, and reject the attempts to undermine the value of our community. And the way we do that is we vote.
Yeah.
We use our voice and we vote. Como han dicho muchos, Puerto Rico se respeta.
Se
Los que-
respeta.
Los que están en la isla hoy no pueden votar por su determinación y su camino, pero nosotros sí.
Sí podemos.
Y así es que se hace. Así es que sacamos, no nada más que el expresidente Donald Trump y todo su equipo y toda la gente que se cree que nosotros somos basura. Enseñándole en sí cómo se saca la basura y no se deja entrar de nuevo.
Ajá. Esa parte.
Eso.
¡Ey!
La representante Joana López.
Huepa.
Gracias por estar aquí. Como saben, yo soy la única puertorriqueña actualmente en la Casa de Representantes de la Florida, and the only boricua in the house. I'm gonna start English, you know, but my English is not very good looking, como decía Celia, pero el pueblo votó por mí porque los puertorriqueños sí votan.
¡Eso!
Y van a haber sorpresas. Y el atrevimiento de este dichoso comediante, que no ni quiero mencionarlo,
No.
porque no se lo merece, esto fue totalmente premeditado. Todos sabemos que en este tipo de rally, cuando usted va a conferencias nacionales, usted tiene que someter el discurso.
Ajá.
Y si hoy el candidato a la presidencia, Donald Trump, dice que no es cierto, usted sabe que es falso, porque él hasta ha recibido críticas de que él manda encima de su campaign manager. So, él sí sabía, esto fue premeditado y fue estratégicamente escrito para lograr, sí, con intención de alevosía,
Ajá.
para lograr una persecución en contra de la comunidad puertorriqueña,
Ajá.
porque él se cree que nosotros no votamos, pero vamos a educar a esta comunidad. La comunidad puertorriqueña le encanta lo que es el voto, es parte de nuestra cultura.
Ajá.
Yo recuerdo a mi mamá en el caserío Vilchez con una tarima al frente del caserío, iban a conocer a Doña Pura, que lo que tenía era un 6º grado. ¿Ok? Porque en Puerto Rico se vota desde la que limpia casa hasta el que es doctor y enfermera, porque todos tenemos un poder y es el poder del voto. Y I just want to say that I just want to educate the Republican Party in our Puerto Rican culture. In Puerto Rico, politics are part of our daily life. We speak about politics on every corner. But when we come here, we see people that they don't understand us. And sometimes we don't feel appeal, but this kind of situation motivates us to go out and vote. Vote for the right people. And the right people are Democrats. It's Debbie, it's Kamala, it's Maxwell, it's Darren, it's Morel. We can continue. You know who they are, and if you don't know, we have volunteers on every side during the polls that we can educate you. We have flyers for you, and we can educate you why you have to vote for us.
Yes.
We believe in diversity and inclusion. And it's very disrespectful that we have a person saying that Puerto Rico, la isla del encanto, el Edén. Mira cómo lo han descrito, el Edén, paradise. This is how people describe Puerto Rico. La perla. También le dicen que es la isla del encanto. La isla preciosa. Precious, pearl, paradise. So this person is not educated. I'm so sorry. Okay, so we have to vote for smart people. That know our culture, know about our issues, but also know about our potential.
Okay.
Because today I am here as a state house, but I grew up in El Caserío, in a project. Okay, in a place that everybody knows is very poor, but everybody votes. So if I achieve this, all Puerto Ricans can achieve whatever they want to achieve if they vote right for the right people.
Eso.
Puerto Rico deserves dignity. And Puerto Ricans have fought too hard to see their heritage minimized or belittled. I'm a daughter of a Second War soldier, and I'm a mother, a veteran, and I'm a mother also of a veteran that is here with me today. Our children is sacrificing their lives to save this country,
Yes.
and we have people talking shit about Puerto Rico. Is resilience, and we will not stand for this blatant disrespect. But let's remember that the real power lies in our hands.
Yes.
On November 5th, we have the chance to make our voices heard by voting for leaders who respect all communities. Kamala Harris and the Democratic candidates on the ballot who fight for every voice and every life. Together we can show that Puerto Rico se respeta. Let's show up to the polls and make it clear that unity, dignity, and respect and values that will win together. And I'm waiting for Puerto Ricans to go to the polls and be volunteers with us. We have Puerto Rican flags on every poll because I know you're going to mobilize the same way Bad Bunny did it in Puerto Rico. Congressman that we have here in Central Florida, my friend Maxwell Alejandro Frost.
Just standing here, I think we realize that Donald Trump really messed up this time.
Okay.
Let's talk about what this rally was, number one. This wasn't a campaign rally. It was a racist hate rally. It was a neo-fascist white supremacist rally. It was a rally not meant to win a campaign, but trying to prep his most devout followers for what they're going to do when they lose. Who they're going to blame when they lose. And it was what we saw, the anti-Latino hate we saw against Puerto Ricans and Boricuas. But we also heard a wild amount of anti-black rhetoric.
Yes.
We heard Islamophobia. Yes. We heard anti-Semitism. Yes. We heard the same things we hear over and over again from Donald Trump and all the people he put on that stage. Yes. And let's be clear, because now Donald Trump is trying to take a step back and trying to say, oh, well, I didn't say it. I disagree with it. I got two things to say. I got three things. Number one, BS. Number two, his campaign took out a part of that guy's speech before he went out. He was going to call the Vice President of the United States the C word. They read that and they took it out. But guess what else they did? They kept reading. They read these horrible data comments on Puerto Rico, and they said, you know what? That is with the values of this campaign. We're going to let him say it. The second thing is if Donald Trump really was opposed to what was said, when he walked on that stage, the first thing he would have said was to condemn those comments. But he didn't, because he wanted to revel in the hate and bigotry that was created before he got on stage. Because that's what his campaign is all about. The third thing I'll say is this. We know Donald Trump despises Boricuas and Puerto Ricans. Not just because what was said a couple days ago, but because what he's done his entire career. What he did when he was president. We've heard it, we're not going to forget, after Hurricane Maria, trying to block billions of dollars of relief. Lying about the death toll. Going there and disrespecting humans by throwing paper towels at them like they're some sort of dog or something. It was said that they believe Puerto Rico is an island of garbage, and honestly, Donald Trump has acted like that as well. Like he believes that in his heart. Not just that, but it's been brought up. After Hurricane Maria, this guy has the goal to come up and say that climate change is a hoax. When in Central Florida, we have the largest group of climate refugees in the history of this country right here. Puerto Ricans who came here after Hurricane Maria. Not out of choice, but because they had to. So to deny the climate crisis is to deny that what they went through and their trauma as a people who are here, who are Americans, by the way. And so I know that this has lit a fire under the community. I had the privilege of going to Puerto Rico for the first time in February. I went with the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, and Alianza for Progress brought me to Loíza, where I had an amazing time. My biological mother's Puerto Rican. And I met people there in Loíza who came up to me and kept saying, you know what, you look like Loíza. And I felt at home when I was there. I felt the beauty of the island, of the people, of the land, of the connection with the land. And I saw the resilience in it, people who have been resisting and fighting against colonialism from before and now. laws that try to entice people from outside of the island to come in, buy up land and displace people, take advantage of horrible tax laws to make sure that they put people out of their homes. So in the middle of all this struggle, to have a presidential candidate say this is completely, of course, disrespectful, bigoted, and racist. And I know as Puerto Ricans here in Florida, in New York, in Pennsylvania, across this country, go to vote, they're going to be filling in Kamala Harris. And they're going to be saying, Yo soy Boricua. Let's win this. Thank you so much. And I have the honor, and before I pass it on, let me tell you this. This isn't just about Donald Trump. This is about every politician who's still supporting him. And for people in Puerto Rico who have elections coming up, you have somebody on your ballot who loves to be next to Donald Trump. Someone I served with in the House of Representatives. So remember that. And look at someone like Rick Scott. Rick Scott, who of course wants to coddle up next to Puerto Ricans during election time, but is nowhere to be found outside of that. And so I'm honored to introduce the next senator of this amazing
Mis hermanos boricuas, es un gran honor estar aquí con ustedes. Thank you so much for everyone for being here with us, for standing with all of us today, and for always being united in the fight to protect Latinos everywhere. I'm Debbie Mucar Sao Paulo. People call me DMP, which stands for Don't Mess with My People. It stands for Deja a mi gente en paz.
En paz.
And I am running for the United States Senate and finally kick Rick Scott out on the But what we all saw and heard this weekend at Donald Trump's rally was a pattern of behavior. This is a continuation of the extreme and the disgusting rhetoric that him and his allies, like Rick Scott, have been pushing since 2016. He has been threatening to deport millions of immigrants who are here legally, our teachers, our business owners, our nurses, and our first responders, claiming that they are poisoning the blood of this country. There is absolutely nothing funny, nothing, about the insults aimed at nuestros hermanos boricuas de Puerto Rico. Thousands of Puerto Ricans have enlisted to serve in the army. They have put their lives on the line to fight and to protect this nation. Millions of Latinos have come here to America to fulfill their American dream and to continue to contribute to our communities. And so today, like it was said before, hoy somos todos boricuas. En el estado de la Florida y en este país. My mother brought me here after living under a military dictatorship, seeing firsthand what an authoritarian, dangerous regime looks like. She brought me here for freedom. Ella me trajo aquí, mi madre me trajo aquí a los 14 años por libertad. And I know firsthand what it's like to have to leave your home country behind, your family, your friends, your community, seeking for economic opportunities, seeking safety, and to start a new home in a place that you don't know yet. I know also what it feels like to have someone who has your back and someone that abandons you at every single turn. The only thing that is trash, mis hermanos, lo único que es basura, son los comentarios que salieron de los racistas en ese rally en Nueva York, and these extremists' lack of leadership in the Senate and the Republican Party's refusal to stand up for the Puerto Rican people and for all Floridians who have been under attack under Donald Trump. We know that Rick Scott, the person I'm running against, that we're all voting out, no matter we know that Rick Scott is all talk and no action. He has remained complicit and silent against the attacks against all of us. He said nothing. Actually, when they attacked Haitian Americans just a week ago, nuestros hermanos haitianos, that call, 500,000 of them call Florida their home. When they said racist slurs, and they asked Rick Scott about it, he said, oh yeah, it's interesting and funny, isn't it, what's happening in Springfield, Ohio. He's remained complicit in the attacks against our Boricuas hermanos. But Floridians have not forgotten when he stonewalled, when he blocked disaster relief funding for the island because his party leader told him so. Or when he voted against the billions of dollars in funding FEMA in the bipartisan infrastructure bill to send to Puerto Rico. Darren, Soto, and I were in Congress fighting to get FEMA funding after Hurricane Maria because under the former president, they were blocking the needed funds to save lives in the island. When Rick Scott, okay, sorry, I'm going to go back for a second here. Where has Rick Scott been? Where was Rick Scott when his party leader said that immigrants like me and my family are poisoning the blood of this country? Where was Rick Scott when his party leader peddled racist conspiracy theories about Haitian Americans? Where was Rick Scott when Donald Trump claimed that Venezuela is safer than the United States? Where was Rick Scott when his party leader has promised to deport the millions of immigrants who are here legally, by the way? Extreme politicians like Rick Scott and Donald Trump are trying to divide us with their hateful and racist rhetoric. But if history has taught us anything, it's that Latinos, when we come together, we are capable of extraordinary things. Rick Scott and Donald Trump seek to divide us because they know that our unity is our strength. And we will show them that we are so much stronger than their words. Porque a Puerto Rico se respeta. Ahora, quiero decir unas cosas. Y esto es un anuncio a las personas que todavía no han decidido lo que van a hacer en esta elección. Tenemos 7 días en estas elecciones y tenemos una opción: elegir a republicanos como el expresidente, republicanos como Rick Scott, que no han hecho absolutamente nada por nuestra comunidad, solamente atacar, insultar y robarnos de nuestras libertades como americanos, porque a los que no saben y no entienden, los puertorriqueños, nosotros sí sabemos eso, pero tal vez ellos no saben, son ciudadanos americanos. Y lo que dice Johanna es completamente cierto. A los latinos, nosotros entendemos el poder de nuestro voto, porque nosotros hemos salido de dictaduras socialistas, comunistas, donde nos han robado todo, donde nos han ahogado las libertades de tener una vida segura, de prosperar económicamente. Es exactamente lo que Rick Scott y el expresidente quieren hacer. Quieren atacarnos, dividirnos, asustarnos, intimidarnos, y no tienen ni idea con quién están lidiando. Utilizan actos de repudio para tratar de suprimir la oposición. Eso es exactamente lo que sucedió en Venezuela. Y ahora insultando a nuestros hermanos boricuas para intimidar, para insultar. Nosotros tenemos dignidad y es hora de que salgan a votar para proteger esas libertades y esas oportunidades que tenemos aquí, porque lo que no quieren hablar es que ellos están utilizando el gobierno para enriquecerse como los corruptos. Lo que no quieren decir es que ellos no van a hacer nada por la crisis de las aseguradoras que empezó bajo Rick Scott. Lo que no quieren decir es que Rick Scott y el expresidente quieren eliminar el Medicare y el Seguro Social. ¿Qué ofrecen ellos? Solamente odio, deportaciones, insultos, división, nada para el futuro de nuestros hijos. Así que ¿saben qué? A Puerto Rico se le respeta, a los latinos se les respeta, a los ciudadanos americanos que hemos estado aquí por años se les respeta, como la única latina corriendo para el Senado en todo el país. Vengan a hablar conmigo de lo que
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for being being here. As you heard from everyone, our message is very clear. A Puerto Rico se respeta. And it's now in our hands. The fastest growing community in Central Florida and across the state are Latinos and primarily Puerto Ricans and also Venezuelans. And we will show them exactly what happens when you go against what we care about the most, our culture. It's on us in the next 7 days to educate our family and educate our friends and make sure that they have a plan to vote, and that they have a plan to vote for those who stand with them. And those who stand with them are Democrats. Those who stand with them are Kamala Harris and Debbie Soto. That's our message, nuestro mensaje claro, a Puerto Rico se les respeta, y a ustedes, el que no ha votado, el que quizás pensaba que no iba a votar en esta elección. Todos tenemos una responsabilidad de demostrarle al mundo la dignidad de nuestra comunidad. Y tenemos que salir a votar juntos para decirle ya basta a la falta de respeto. Castígalos con tu voto en o antes del 5 de noviembre, Boricua. Todos nosotros podemos lograr hacer historia. Contamos contigo. Muchas gracias. We will not have time for questions, but the speakers will be around. If people want to ask individual questions, you're more than happy to. We also have a lot of people, leaders in the Puerto Rican community. Jimmy Vilchez, we have Betsy Francesini, we have Jenny Castillo, we have different leaders in the community who are also available for interviews to tell you exactly what they feel and what their community response has been. Again, thank you all so much.
¡Para que tú lo sepas!